And that is a direct response to the threat down the left-hand side that was posed by Kachawi and Baltimore. And Kasperaj gets her first touch immediately. She only just about managed to make it over into position by the time that they kicked off. Berenstein tackled by Wendy Renard. Once again, Imperius at the back, and with an eagle eye in front of goal from the set piece. Matteo stepping inside well, but the Netherlands look like they've stepped out with a half a yard of increased pace in the second half. Those 50-50s are not looking quite so certain to go the way of the women in blue. It's going to have to be a big performance from the Dutch if they are to win this Tournoi de France. Gave themselves a great chance of that 2 years ago, but weren't able to finish it off. It had virtually been finished off by the time they got to the last game. Spate of draws in the first games, virtually every game that didn't involve the French. Here comes Lieke Martens, tackled by Bilbo, tracking back from midfield. Out by Perisset. Marie-Antoinette Katoto, scorer of the second goal. Took a bit of a blow to her head as well after a subsequent attempt at a header. Van der Graat, the centre-back, inadvertently kicking her or kneeing her in the side of the temple. And Bokbati, loose, right in front of her coach, who gives her an encouraging round of applause. Well, if France finish this off in the second half, I think that the overwhelming summary by the coach will be that of a very positive nature. Kasperaj forward to Berenstein. The substitute right back has already had quite a few touches since coming on. Van der Graat looks for the long diagonal ball, can't get it past Diani though. Diani was absolutely electric in the first half. Matteo tackled. It's going to be a Dutch throw-in. Paris FC's top scorer in Feminine Division 1, 8 goals. Out by the goalkeeper. Ferndal gets it back once more. Couldn't have really done much about the 2 goals. The first one was a penalty that was well put into the roof of the net by Renard, and the second one, point blank through the defender. She could have barely have seen it before it flashed by her into the space behind her in the goal. Berenstein, Grunnen, rather tackled off the ball on occasion in the first half, what she could do in the second. Out to Berenstein, who's got Kachawi with her. Toletti also covering. Berenstein gets it in, though. Look at Lieke Martens, out by Perisset. Still not away. The Dutch looking more dangerous already. Much better play. Pelova. Strong work by Wendy Renard, but it might come out to Lieke Martens. Perisset with another desperate last-ditch challenge to put it behind for a corner. Suddenly it's the French who are hanging on. Much better play at the beginning of the start of the second half. In by the Dutch, and Berenstein has scored. The comeback trail is started already. Only a couple of minutes into the second half. Linette Berenstein of Bayern Munich. One of the 7 women in the squad who started the World Cup final. Through the legs of Sakina Kachawi. And Berenstein comes up with her 17th goal of her career in her 77th outing. It's her second goal as well of the Tournoi de France after scoring against the Brazilians in their opener. And it means that the destination of the trophy in this Tournoi de France, as I said at the break, is not yet over. It's not decided. Katoto forward. Nicely done from the Paris Saint-Germain centre forward, but she's run it out of play and it'll be a goal kick to the Dutch. Such good form, Marie-Antoinette Katoto. 9 goals now in 5 matches for club and country. And after not scoring against the Welsh or the Finnish, she's now scored in her last 2 games as well. However, in order for the French to feel a bit more comfortable out there, she might well need another. Dijkstra. Space out for Van Dongen down the line, finds Lieke Martins. She's got Perisset in front of her. Perisset falls over. Ball forward by Spitzer. Out by Kachawi, into Baltimore. Baltimore finds Clara Matteo. Matteo between 2 defenders, can't get past a third though. Back it goes to Sari van Veendal. Well, the warning has come, as if the French really needed it, from a side who are right next to them in the FIFA World Rankings. Both these sides in the top 5 in the world. Only the Germans and the Swedish above them. Both of whom will be in the European Championships later. Sweden made it to the Olympic final, where they fell against the other side that were in the Tournoi de France here 2 years ago, Canada, who saw off the Americans in the semi-finals, which really was a huge shock in Japan. Out by Renard, looking for Diani. Van Dongen was behind her, but the woman who set up the goal for Marie-Antoinette Katoto can't find her this time. Dijkstra, square, that's loose. Desperate challenge coming in from the substitute, Kasparai. France on the attack again, Sakina Kachawi. Berenstein has done well there to just stop that forward momentum. Katoto has to feed it back to Renard. Renard wants a few people to come towards her as well, to pull out the Dutch defenders. Always the risk of the high press is if you have a team that is really good at passing, they can just go straight through you between the gaps. Very hard to keep it going, the high press. It's exhausting. Diani. In she comes again, still going Diani. Past 2, 3, 4 players. Lovely ball in, Toletti, Matteo. Good ball in, chance, Diani can't get there. No foul, great challenge by Stephanie van der Graat. An orange wall here in front of both Katoto and Diani, the 2 Paris Saint-Germain teammates. Van der Graat took one to the face for her trouble. Just 2-1, same score as it was against Brazil. France managed to hold on in that game. Will they manage to do it again here against the Dutch? Toletti turns, finds Matteo. It was a miscontrol, but it worked out well for the Paris FC midfielder. Diani once more. Going to have a second bite of the cherry. This one's better. Out by Veendal. Diani again, this time over her. Can't find Baltimore. Grunen's lost it to Toletti. Fascinating encounter. Kachawi. Baltimore once more. Great build-up play. Too much on the aerial ball in, though, from the Paris Saint-Germain left wing. Van Dongen. That's the ball in that Van Feyendal dealt with. It's been kept on her toes a lot more than Pauline Perrault-Magnan at the other end. All of the action for a goalkeepers is coming at the wrong end as far as the Dutch are concerned. However, they have got a goal back. Berenstein after 5 minutes of the second half. Here comes Baltimore again. The crowd are lifted by that little bit of skill. Still going with the right foot. Decent ball in. Kachawi can't get there. Van der Graat completes the clearance, but only as far as Yves Perisset. Kachawi down the line, Matteo offside. Well, Matteo had an impressive game against Finland in the opening game. It was against easier opposition, with all due respect to the Nordic nation. This is a much tougher test against the reigning European champions. Team that reached the World Cup final as well. Only reached the last 16 of the Olympic Games, though, when they lost against the same team they lost to in the global set piece in France 3 years ago. But the Americans then weirdly went off the boil after that. France, of course, didn't go to the Olympic Games, having been beaten by the Americans in their home World Cup in 2019. Berenstein picks it up for the Dutch. Grunnen, no way forward there, so Van der Graat. Nice ball to Van Dongen. Ooh, got it underneath her feet there as Van der Graat, and she's got away with that one, being fouled by Sandy Toletti. It's a clear foul, though. No yellow cards in the game so far. Lieke Martins has come deep into Sherida Spitzer. Like Lieke Martins and Miedema, she scored in the European Championship final back in 2017, that won their first title against Denmark. Berenstein showed too much of that to Sakina Kachawi. However, she tackles back well. She looks disappointed, but at least she got the possession back again for the Orangie. Dijkstra. Lit weak from Pelova, but again, the Dutch managed to keep the ball. That's a loose pass, intercepted though by Perisset. Diani comes back and skips away past Katja Schnuiz, who's come on in the second half. Miedema having to go off at half-time, having picked up what looked like a little bit of a knock in the first half. Needed a bit of treatment. Mark Parsons deciding to take no risks with the Netherlands' most famous player. Nicely brought down by Baltimore. However, good tackle by Grunnen. Throw in to France. Almost up to the hour mark, and it's still 2-1. Whereas France were definitely in the ascendancy at 2-0, it's beautifully poised at the moment, with the Dutch having pulled it back to 2-1. Toletti turns, but Spitzer is there to pick it up from a Pelova. Now on the run. Berenstein is there, but Kachawi has the pace as well. Wendy Renard looks long, looking for Katoto, but Van der Graat was the only woman that was likely to get that ball forward. Dijkstra feeds it out again to the other substitute, Kirsten Kasperij. Berenstein. Back to Kasperij again. Grunen. Nice. Lieke Martins manages to get the other side of the player. In she comes, Schnuiz. 2 goals in the last game. Too many French defenders in her way that time, though. Well, the Dutch looking a lot more aggressive now in midfield. Loose, though, that time from Spitzer. Charlotte Bilbao. Lots of talk in the media over the last few days about how her and Kira Hamraoui could well have a battle there for supremacy as the defensive midfielder in this 4-3-3 that the French generally play. Hamraoui, as we said earlier, had an up-and-down game against the Brazilians, at fault for the penalty. But also could say she was credited with an assist for the equaliser, scored by a massive deflection off her shot from distance. French have lost the ball. Here come the Dutch again. Pelova. Schnuiz. And it's off Wendy Reinhardt. Nothing that Perrault Magnan could do to stop it going behind for a corner kick to the Dutch. At last they've managed to get a foothold in attack. The game has very much shifted now in favour of the women in orange. Katja Schnuiz, who plays her football in France with Bordeaux, teammate of Charlotte Bilbao, who is one of the women trying to stop her getting through midfield. Over an hour gone. France 2, Netherlands 1. Corner kick, though, to the Orangi. Here he comes, they're jostling. Oh, and it's been shanked by Matteo. Diani helps it out of the penalty area. Oh, she's done well, and she's stolen the ball again. When she did that in the first half, she ended up getting a goal. Unfortunately, she's run that into touch. Terrific.
Get in the game with the beIN Sports Connect app. Watch the best sports live like Ligue 1, Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, Turkish Super League, motorsports, and much more. Anywhere, anytime. On your PC, tablet, smartphone, or any other supported device.
It's pure genius, is what it is.
Download the beIN Sports Connect app. Game on.
Changement également pour les Pays-Bas avec la sortie de la numéro 15.
Dijkstra has gone off as well for the Dutch.
Et l'entrée de la numéro 19, Marisa Olichtagen.
And she has been replaced by Marisa Oleslager.
Marisa Olichtagen.
And it's like a 21-year-old left back who's very much at the beginning of her career with the Dutch. Berenstein puts it out, be a throw-in to the French. Van Dongen to Van der Graat. It's better from Sakina Kachawi, stopping that one getting through to Berenstein. Bilbao all over the back of Pelova. And Grace Gayora makes her first challenge since coming on. Berenstein, though, recovers it. Out by Mbokbati, only as far as Grunen. Dutch again having an awful lot more possession in this second 45-minute period. and more dangerous as well with it, generally in the French half. However, the French have got it back now. Nice little turn by one of the new French women on, Basha. It's well documented now, her brilliant debut against Kazakhstan. Now she's got to back up that fiery, unexpected debut after she came in because of an injury to Kachawi into the squad. The Brazilian showed up just what international football can be like. But she has been impressive this season as well for her club, has Sasha Basha. It's a good ball. Perisset, live and onto it. Into Diani. Danger once more for the Dutch. Diani to the byline, over the top of the goalkeeper. And out it goes by Kasparai for a corner. Fantastic play again from Kadidia to Diani. Set up though, nice ball into her from Yves Perisset. Didn't need to beat her marker that time. She manages to just get it round her. Wendy Renard, Kadidia to Diani, and Marie Antoinette Katoto are in there along with Mbok Bati. Goes over the goalkeeper. It will be a very relieved Sari van Veendal. And she saw that one fly all the way over for a Dutch throw-in. Kira Hamraoui, looking like she's warming up to come on as well. Which probably means that Charlotte Bilbao is being lined up to be brought off. Dutch need to get on with this. We're 2/3 of the way through the game. Halfway through the second half. France still leading by 2-1. And at the moment with almost getting two hands on the Tournoi de France trophy. It all changed very quickly though. Basha runs away from Kasparai. No way through there. So back it goes to Kachawi. And Mbok Bati to her centre-back partner and Lyon teammate Wendy Renard. Diani. Grace Kayoro making the run forward. She's offside at the moment. Diani's not going to be able to find sensible play. Perisset back to Renard. Kachawi. Basha. Feeds it into Kachawi again. Still no way through. So recycle again to the halfway line. And Mbok Bati now. Into Basha. Offside. I think it might have gone out as well. Selma Basha, only 21 years old. Didn't play at all against Finland, but started against Brazil. Got a yellow card in that game. Vying with Pearl Maroney, who has some muscle problems at the moment for that place on the left back. Sakina Kachawi is probably the #1 pick at the moment. Wealth of riches, though, for Corinne Diacre at left back at the moment. Same thing on the other side with Yves Perisset and Marion Torrent, who started the game against Finland. Perisset starting today, though. Down the line she finds Katoto, who's managed to get away from Van Dongen, who brings her down. And the referee determined not to give any yellow cards, I think, in this game. That wasn't too far away from getting one, though. She's actually ripped the Frenchwoman's shirt with that challenge. Selma Basha then with the free kick as we tick through the 70-minute mark. 20 minutes now for the Netherlands to rescue their Tournoi de France campaign in terms of winning the title. In by Basha, straight into the arms though of Van Veendal. Van Veendal, the Golden Glove at the 2019 World Cup. It's been around Europe. Arsenal in England, Atletico Madrid in Spain, and now finally back at home again at Ajax in Amsterdam. Berenstein, so far the only Dutch woman who scored in this game, with her second of the Tournoi de France. Van Dongen decides not to take on Sandy Toletti. Grunen made the run. In fact, it was Schnuys who made the run. Van Dongen again, not confident enough to try the ball over the top. Oh, that was a nice idea, but Lieke Martins couldn't collect the ball. From Marisa Ulislager. Ulislager again with the header, beating Katoto. However, Katoto's been handed the ball by Grunen, and now Grace Gayoro can come forward. Basha is streaming down the left-hand side. Basha again looking for a second goal. That's a lovely ball, just in front of Marie-Antoinette Katoto. 2 goals in the last game, looking for 2 more in this one. And the Dutch giving away a midfield possession again, almost paying for it again. Which way will this game finish? It is still really anybody's. Nicely done from Diani, looks for the return ball, goes past Ulislager, looking inside for Basha. Basha's not quite tall enough, picked up by Kachawi, she goes down, no penalty. Berenstein comes away, Basha tracks her back, Berenstein's got the pace, she's pulled down, and that will be a free kick to the Netherlands. Well, what happened here? No, she rather, I think, fell down out of balance. Probably just about shoulder to shoulder, with a little bit of arm in there as well from the Dutch goal scorer. It's good play by Basha there, frustrating her opponent. Palava tackled by Diani fairly. However, the Dutch have got it back again. They've given it up again. Perisset through. Gayoro now into space. Katoto in the middle. Can she find her? She can! Surely that's it. Surely the 2022 Tournoi de France is staying in France again. Katoto's 4th goal in this year's tournament. And it's another cheeky finish from inside the 6-yard area. Lyon's Renard hugs Paris Saint-Germain's Katoto, reunited under the colours of France. And the Dutch find themselves 2 down again. Lovely ball in from Grace Gayoro, making an impact as a substitute. Nothing that Van Veendal could do about that. Again, it's through a Dutch defender, giving her virtually no visibility of the shot. And Marie-Antoinette Katoto simply can't do no wrong at the moment. A fabulous season.
In 1960, an exciting competition was born, a championship that grew year after year to become the greatest in the continent. It's the Copa Libertadores. The best teams out of 10 countries in South America. It's more than a tournament. It's an obsession. Winning it means everything. It's the eternal glory. In 2022, a new season is coming. The Copa Libertadores on beIN Sports Extra.
Et l'entrée de la numéro 24, Samantha Van Diemen.
So then a couple of substitutions made by the Netherlands as well. On comes Jill Byings. Off comes Jackie Groenen.
Jackie Groenen. Et l'entrée de la numéro 22, Jill Byings.
Well, the Dutch need a bit of a miracle now. Inside the last quarter of an hour. Came back into it thanks to Berenstein. But a second goal of the game for Marie-Antoinette Katoto might well have just put this out of reach. Kachawi, Basher link up once more. Good tackle though by Sherika Schmitz. Kira Hamraoui is about to come on as well. Charlotte Bilbo is still on the pitch though. The other substitute, Samantha Van Diemen, excuse me. Just turned 20 years old, the Feyenoord centre-back. Only made a debut for the Netherlands in December in the 0-0 against Japan, which is not a bad debut to make when you're a defender, a 0-0. Nice turn by Pelliver, away from Hamraoui and Bilbo. However, great tracking back though by Sakina Kachawi. Out by Pero Magna. French, when you consider who they're up against, have barely had to defend a shot, which against a team like the Netherlands will be very pleasing for Diacre as well. Griesjenbok Batty has taken another step towards full fitness, looking very good indeed. Has been a few months now since she came back. Just one shouldn't forget the severity of the injuries that she came back from. Kachawi up against Berenstein, no way through there. It's a rather weak Mexican wave going around the French crowd now, as Kira Hamraoui delivers it over to the far side and Basher hits Berenstein clean in the head. I think the Dutch woman is probably rather more injured than the French woman. It's going to be a bit of a winding. Looks in a lot of pain. Another couple of substitutions. Delphine Cascarino and Marianne Torrent are warming down below us. Cascarino likely will probably come on for Kadidiatou Diani for this last part of the game. Marianne Torrent will most likely come on for Yves Perisset at right back. A woman that she is in direct competition for the starting place when it gets to the European Championships in the summer. Speaking of which, after this game, the next match for the French is against Wales in World Cup qualifying at the beginning of April, in the first week, away in Wales. They then welcome Slovenia to France in a few days later, and then they kick off their European Championship campaign against Italy on the 10th of July in Rotherham. They then play Belgium and Iceland, hoping to go further, obviously. Berenstein goes off. The Dutch, meanwhile, World Cup qualifying for them sees them welcome first Cyprus, then Belarus on those same dates, the 8th and the 12th of April, and then they start against Sweden in the European Championships on the 9th of July. Wendy Renard now in a pile on the floor, as is Snoeys, who was sliding in. Oof. Well, you would think in a competitive game that's likely to be a yellow card, and I think that that is exactly what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Yves Perisset is indeed going to come off and be replaced by Torrent. Not sure she's actually seen it yet. She's around her captain. I think Melvin Mallard is going to come across and say hello, and the referee is actually seen. So then right back for right back, as predicted. Marion Toro, who started the game against Finland, coming on for her 42nd international appearance, in which she has scored just a single goal. And Kadiatou Diani is the other woman to come off, replaced by Delphine Cascarino. They played on opposite sides of the wings in the game against Brazil, but only Diani kept her place in the side. Wendy Renard allowed to stay on because the yellow card was given to Snoeys. She, though, did have to go off and then come back on again. Renard into Hamraoui. No way forward, and Renard rather shanks it into touch. So it will be a throw-in to the Dutch. Another goal now would make it for an interesting last 5 minutes. To the Dutch, that is. Ulislager with the throw. Lika Martins bundled off the ball, and a foul given against Sakina Kashawi. In fact, against Basha. Sherika Spitzer is going to take the set piece. Hamraoui with arms all over Van der Graat. Spitzer then, and it's out by Wendy Renard. Oh, it's off the bar! Thunderous shot from Peleva. Well, another goal did almost arrive. What a superb strike from Victoria Peleva, unrewarded. And the French a little bit rattled. Kachawi running away from Berenstein. Finds it Basha. And she's given the ball away to Spitzer. Peleva again, now out on the other side. Berenstein's there. Hamraoui, though, with the challenge. And the French finally might be able to clear their lines. Ball's given away again, though, but Grace Gayoro, great tackling back. Grijanbok Bati comes across. She too gives it away. Bilbo into Mallard. Still going, Mallard. Does well, finds Bilbo. Hamraoui out further forward, and now Torrent down the line. Delphine Cascarino gets her first run at Oleslager. Oleslager does the job well, though. However, it's not over. Cascarino's got the ball back and then falls over it. Bilbo into Renard. Five minutes to go. France 3, Netherlands 1. Well, if there's to be a repeat of the 3-3 draw from 2 years ago, it's going to be quite a conclusion here from the Orangi. This was the ball in, and it came out to Pelliver. Beautiful strike. Perumania, spectator in that. But unfortunately for the Netherlands, Pelliver unable to come up with what would have only been her third goal in her 22nd Dutch appearance. Well, it's been an entertaining game. The Dutch probably won't feel that way at the end of it, but for the neutral, it's been a very nice game of football, in the same way that the game against Brazil was also hugely entertaining as well. It's not over yet either. Delphine Cascarino coming in field. Grace Gayoro feeds it out. Basha. Melvin Mallard's in the middle. It's well intercepted, though, by Kasperai. Kachaoui, too high for the replacement centre-forward. Marion Torrent doesn't keep it in. Looked like she had, but that assistant, a lot better placed than I am to see it. Three minutes between France and keeping hold of the Tournoi de France title. Might be just a friendly mini tournament, but let's not forget that major championships are not much longer, twice as long perhaps, but you've still got to get it right in a very short amount of time. It's not like a season of football where you have a few more chances to come back from disappointment. Berenstein, that's nice. Snowy's is in the middle, so too is Pelliver. She's already hit the bar once. Pelliver wide. Well, they've given her space again. Dangerous tactic this by the French, but this time off the left foot. Started off wide and got wider. Perumania seems unduly pressed to get this ball back into play. Suddenly realises and slows down. Up by Torrent, wins it into Delphine Cascarino. She finds Gayoro. Melvin Mallard wants it. It's going to go instead to the winger. Delphine Cascarino gets there first, and it's a good catch in the middle. Van Veendaal again reading the trajectory of the ball perfectly. Although in the second half, from a couple of corners, she's not been quite so assured. Minute and a half. Could well be a couple of minutes to add on at the end of the second half. There's been a couple of fairly long stoppages. Mallard, lovely, into Bashar. Mallard again. Grace Gayoro is also there. Left it too late. And allowed the challenge to come in from Samantha Van Diemen. Oleslager back, and Van Diemen having to get herself out of a bit of trouble. And then a poor pass out to Oleslager. Down the line from Cascarino, but Van Diemen was there again. And Bokbati feeds it into Selma Basha. She's got Kasperai in front of her. That wasn't a great ball to Hamraoui. Schneu is allowed to get more than a 50-50 chance of winning that ball. Van der Graat out wide. Kasperai into Spitzer. Berendaal. Bernstein at the moment the only goal scorer for the Netherlands today. 4 minutes have added on at the end of the 90. Well, that's not so surprising. Still a bit of time left for a miracle for the Netherlands. Looks like they're going to finish second in the Tournoi de France for a second time, seeing France above them. This one, though, has been a much more competitive Tournoi de France than we saw 2 years ago, where the visiting sides were a little bit overawed. Brazil, though, 0-0 earlier in the day. Hasn't been the easiest time for the Brazilians. I was talking to their match analyst, and they were delayed in Madrid. We'll come back to that in a minute, though. Alischlager, little ball into the middle, past Snues, and away by Mbok-Bati. Bernstein picks it up on the far side. Looking for Martins, strong header by Wendy Renard. And it goes out from Kachawi. Yeah, the Brazilians, they were 9 hours delayed at Madrid airport because a woman was taken badly ill on their flight over from South America. Ended up getting in really late. Had 1 day preparation before kicking off against Finland. Oh, Grace Gayoro has got the ball. Illegally, though, says the referee. Palova, judged to have been taken down. Spitzer then, almost into the territory now where the Netherlands are just trying to get a goal for pride. In it comes, Van der Graat sliding in. Wants a corner, but it's going to be a goal kick. Looked dangerously close to offside against the central defender. I wonder whether there was a slight touch off the head of Wendy Renard. Referee and the assistant didn't see it, and Corinne Diac looks like she's going to win a second Tournoi de France title. The one she really wants, though, is the one later on in the summer in England. France looking for their first ever major title. The Dutch did it in the last one on home soil. French were unable to win the World Cup at home, but now they will be depending on going across the channel and winning on English soil. Torrent with the header. Cascarino is there. She's almost given up being on the wing at the moment. Inside, still going. Oh, heavy touch. That was unfortunate because it was laying down nicely there for the Lyon winger. Heading towards 40 caps now for her country. No Estelle, her twin sister, in this squad. Centre-back, though, rather than an attacker. Van der Graat forward, away by Torrent. Bilbao rides the challenge from the substitute, Barings. France now beginning to play the clock. Cascarino is unable to hold the ball up. Van Diemen. Great play by Basha, forces Kasparai to go back to the goalkeeper. And we are inside the last minute now.
The full-time whistle rings out across the Stade Océan, and it's a 3-1 victory for France as they secured top spot in the 2022 Tournoi de France. This will be their third title in this competition in the 3-year history of the competition. It has been a 3-year spell of pure dominance for Les Bleus, and it was never really in question, was it? The Netherlands putting up a bit of a fight early on, but after 45 minutes it was pretty clear that France were the superior side, up 2-0 at the break, and they get one more in the second stanza as they bring home all 3 points once again for the third time in the competition this season. And they finished top with 9 points after 3 matches played. The trophy celebration is coming up after the break. Do not go anywhere.